This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
The world needed a safer trampoline. Dr. Keith Alexander, inventor of the Spring-Free Trampoline, wanted to bring the joy of trampolining to his daughter. His wife said they were too dangerous, so he invented his own. Spring-Free Trampoline is the world's safest trampoline, with no springs or hard edges. Now, parents can have peace of mind that their kids are outside jumping safely. To learn more, visit springfreetrampoline.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
Let's play Beat Migs.
I will beat anyone that calls in to play the game. He's smarter than you. He'll make you look lame. 60 seconds on the clock. You're going down and I'm gonna rock. It's time to play the game. Yeah. So everybody scream his name. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa, Beat Migs, you're a loser.
A very gaseous edition.
It is time
to beat Migs. We made it. It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Well, I do believe young Daniel is jumping. Oh, wow. Friday.
Everybody's looking forward to the weekend.
Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy National Fart Day.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Right before the all the dip and all the everything we're going to have.
So I mean, Monday would also be National Fart, or maybe it's International Fart Day.
Yeah, it will be.
Super Fart Day.
Let's get to our contestant. We got Scott in Seattle. Scott, are you there?
I am.
Excellent. All right, Steve, get out of here.
Goodbye.
Take that gas with you. Yeah. Wait, you're going to my room. Uh-oh. For those playing at home, Scott will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Scott, you can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Ready.
Who played Ellis Boyd Redding in the 90s movie The Shawshank Redemption?
Morgan Freeman.
Yes. What major U.S. city is serviced by O'Hare International Airport?
Chicago.
Yes. In what decade was musician Bobby Brown born?
70s.
No.
60s.
60s, yes. Ralph Nader was the Green Party presidential nominee in 96 and what other year?
2000.
Yes. Okay. Steve Urkel is a fictional character from what sitcom?
Pass.
With video entertainment, what does the H stand for with VHS?
Home.
Yes. What is the oldest marathon race in the U.S.?
The Boston Marathon.
Yes. Nice. What food is usually left out for Santa Claus on Christmas Eve?
Cookies and milk.
Yes. Which city does Fred, Wilma, Barney, and Betty live in?
Bedrock.
Yes. And what year did Hank Aaron pass away?
This year, 2021.
Yes. Steve Urkel is a fictional character from what sitcom?
Family Ties.
No!
Close.
So close.
Oh, so close, Scotty.
But that answer doesn't matter.
Yeah.
9 correct, though. Really good score.
You're thinking of Skippy, not Urkel.
That's right.
Skippy was the Family Ties guy.
Yep. Well, we'll have to see how Steve does if he can get that perfect score. If he is still king. I don't know. Of this room and this chair, or
a tough one for Steve. It's almost worth betting breakfast.
It almost is.
Anybody want to bet breakfast? Besides, because we know Rev won't.
Anybody?
No?
Anybody?
Bueller.
Nobody wants
Bueller?
nothing.
Look at that. Vicky's paying attention. Danny just staring at his phone.
It is pretty amazing that these two millennials that we've hired are just literally never paying attention to us.
Yep.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure about this generation clash that we have in this gap. I don't like it.
All right, then. Are you ready, Steve? Wow.
Oh, there we go.
Who played Ellis Boyd Redding in the 90s movie The Shawshank Redemption?
I'll never get this.
Christian Bale?
No.
Christian Bale.
Random.
Wow.
Oh, no. Liam Neeson.
No.
A certain set of skills.
Oh, Jim Varney.
No. What major U.S.
Yes,
city
goes
is
to Shawshank.
serviced by O'Hare International Airport?
Chicago.
Yes. In what decade was musician Bobby Brown born?
60s.
Yes. Ralph Nader was the Green Party presidential
Nader.
nominee in 96 and what other year?
Plus 4. 2000.
Yes.
Good job.
Steve Urkel is a fictional character from what sitcom?
Did I do that? Family Matters.
Yes. With video entertainment, what does the H stand for in VHS?
Home.
Yes. What is the oldest marathon race in the U.S.?
This show.
No.
Boston Marathon.
You
got that right, brother.
What food is usually left out for Santa Claus on Christmas Eve?
Crack.
No.
Cookies and milk.
Yes. What city do Fred, Wilma, Barney, and Betty live in?
Bedrock.
Yes. And Steve, you lose 8-9.
Good job, Scott.
Wow. I guess I'm king on fart day. So that's
I have to relinquish my crown.
Yeah, you do. King
It's
Scott
Sir Scott.
has spoken. And King Scott, you get this.
Ooh, nice.
Well, Steve gets this.
Yeah.
But it's in Sir Scott's honor.
True.
Oh, Steve ain't the king no more.
It's the royal song for right now. You did not get who Ellis Boyd Redding was in Shawshank Redemption. Scott did. It was Morgan Freeman.
Oh.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that either.
I missed it in the first couple of minutes that I watched of that movie.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember any actor.
Yeah.
All I remember is a gun.
I don't remember that at all. So
maybe you need to watch the movie.
Maybe I should.
Yeah.
And then you didn't get to the last question, which would have at least gotten you a tie. In which year did Hank Aaron pass away?
2021.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
sorry, Steve.
Sorry. You lose.
You lose. Good day, sir. Hey, I am not a huge fan of this TikTok thing, but I might have to turn my whole thought around because somebody named Kayla Weeks might be like the best detective ever for me because she posted a video on TikTok showing a sheet cake that she bought at a McDonald's in Omaha. You heard me, a sheet cake.
Yeah, dude, I don't even know what to make of this. I saw this morning, and is this a thing? Does McDonald's have sheet cakes? It's like a little mini sheet cake. It's like an 8x10.
I know, and it's got Ronald on there, vanilla icing. There's Ronald on there at $9, and it's a chocolate cake with white frosting, and there's Ronald as a decoration.
Check this bad boy out.
That's a sheet. That's a damn sheet friggin' cake. Now, how is this happening?
Do you think if I go to McDonald's, like you could just be like, "Yo, hook me up with the sheet cake," and are they going to say yes?
Is it like In-N-Out? It's a secret menu thing. Is every McDonald's doing this?
I've never heard of this before until this morning.
So-
I'm today years old to find out that McDonald's has a sheet cake.
Some employees have weighed in on both sides of this issue. Some employees are saying their stores do not have cakes, but one said, quote, "Oh yeah, all McDonald's have cakes." So
Come on, we know enough people that listen that work at a McDonald's
Come
or
on.
have worked at a McDonald's.
I've never
Can you
heard of
please,
this.
Please let us know.
matter of fact, we had to get a birthday cake for my buddy, as a matter of fact, recently, and we could have done it at McDonald's. We would have loved that. We had no idea.
So they have like a back room just full of sheet cakes.
Yeah. McDonald's
And
is not.
what's the shelf life on this?
Meanwhile, Ronald has had nothing to say about this. He's unusually quiet. Even the Hamburglar will not speak on this.
Someone says it's part of the birthday package for celebrations held in the play area.
Oh.
So maybe if you go to one that has a play area.
Oh, and well, nobody's going to the play area, but they still have the ability to make the cakes. So sure. You know what? I mean, you go, hey, listen, I know I can't go in the ball pit and have my party here, but my kid loves Ronald. Can't we get one of them damn cakes?
I don't understand this. This is something that I've never known all these years.
All these
years, I would have gotten a McDonald's sheet cake.
Plus, you could get the ice cream to go with it. This is a dream come true.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Oh, man, this is BS.
Nobody's.
I mean, really, how long has this been going on? Where? I mean,
I don't know, but our texters aren't telling us. I would imagine that this must be maybe a non-disclosure.
I would have taken Joey and Sarah to McDonald's so many times for their birthday. They would have loved that if I didn't know there was sheet cake.
Someone says it's for the kids' birthday parties. Don't you know that they do birthday parties, right?
Well, I do, but I didn't
know that they do birthday parties, to be honest with you.
I knew that, but I thought you had to provide the cake.
When COVID's over, can we celebrate my birthday at McDonald's?
Of course we can.
Okay.
Yeah, are you kidding me? Whatever you want, Steve.
Someone says all of them have McDonald's. Our buddy Photog Jim from King 5, he says, I worked at McDonald's when I was a teen, and they had sheet cakes with birthday parties. That was 30 years ago, though, in Ohio.
Photog Jim, it's the biggest kept secret ever, because so many of us do not know this. I would think you go to a place, you got to bring your own cake. Like, I think when we used to go to Chuck E. Cheese, we had to bring our own cake.
Someone says, I've been a manager at a couple different McDonald's, never seen one in my life.
Oh, okay.
Next text, all McDonald's have cakes.
What is happening?
This is very weird.
What is going on?
Oh, this one, I think this is, I worked at a McDonald's in Kent. We had no cakes, but there's lots of shootings. No, we want cake. We don't want shootings.
Yeah. That is not really what I... Okay, yeah.
So I went down to the source.
And?
To McDonald's.com, and it says, you bring the kids, we'll bring the party. For Happy Meals, cake decorations, and party favors, just talk to your local McDonald's manager.
But I bet...
Participation may vary.
Yeah. Yeah, someone says you have to have a specialist to order them. It's a thing.
A specialist? What the hell?
But you do need to have an indoor or outdoor play place, which I realize a lot of them are getting rid of them.
Yeah.
That's wrong. That's Americana. You can't get rid of those.
Texture says, no offense, but you guys sound like total men, husbands, and fathers. I bet a lot of moms know about this, LOL.
Hey,
right.
I did a lot of stuff with my kids.
Convincing.
Oh, 25 years ago, one texter says, my little brother had his 6th birthday at McDonald's.
Your little brother is the luckiest kid ever.
It was lit.
It was lit.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. Hey, you got something to say? I got something to say. They're wild, rabid, and on the loose. This is Listeners on the Loose.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's Listeners on the Loose. Listeners on the Loose, where you pick the topic, you guide the show at 206-421-ROCK. You can also text us at 77999, so it's your opportunity to voice whatever it is you think people need to hear. But remember, Steve does have this rule.
It's a simple rule, BJ, to show some energy and bring it. Otherwise, you're going to have to be gonged. And then we're going to say goodbye to you.
Goodbye, old friend.
206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Someone said, did you see what PETA's doing? These guys are ridiculous.
Oh, the guy from Hunger Games? What's he doing now?
PETA, P-E-T-A, the people for the ethical treatment of
Cat
animals.
has saved his ass so much. I mean, he should be more grateful. Yes. Yes.
It's so funny because, I understand what they're... of course, they want people to treat animals well. That part of their message is fine.
That's the only part of the message I don't agree with.
But then they go on the deep end with these things that are going to make anyone roll their eyes, and people are just going to continue to look at them like they're off their rocker.
What do they do now?
They want people to stop using words like pig and chicken as insults because it's speciesist.
Oh, God.
You know something? I'm going to tell you guys this right now.
It enforces the myth that humans are superior to other animals. And
mark this day.
Okay.
Mark this day, because I say this all the time. In 20 to 30 years, you're going to say things that people are going to tell you are horrible, and the whole society is going to agree, and you're going to go, come on. Because it happens to every human being, where you go, that's a bad word? What do you mean that's a bad word? And this is the start. I would not be shocked in 30 years if, in fact, everybody thinks like PETA, because it's always something you don't expect. You go, wait, when did that become a bad word?
But, we haven't done, was it 2 kill birds with 1 stone? They wanted to be something with a scone?
Feed 2 birds with 1 scone, which I like, personally.
I agree with you that it's really dumb. But I can words change and people get mad about them. I mean, look, the R word, if you told anybody in Massachusetts 30 years ago that the R word would be the R word, they would have thought you were crazy, because to us, we didn't think anything about it. It was just our adjective for everything.
Understandable, but these are things that you're talking about that were impacting people that are human, that can understand the words, and sadly would put them in a bad space. You know what I mean? Because it's okay, well, these words hurt somebody. But a chicken, I don't know if a chicken's going to be affected by us calling somebody a chicken instead of, because instead of calling someone a chicken, they're like, can you start saying coward instead, please?
Which is funny, because I feel like nobody's ever met a chicken, because chickens are vicious. They will attack you. They're not chickens, if you will.
Well, they're pissed because they were once, and they're probably like, we need to stop having people think that we're
like
this way.
they used to be,
we made them tougher by calling people chickens.
They're descendants of dinosaurs. They've always been tough.
What if scientifically they find out that chickens can understand words, and they're going to tell you to stop using that word because it hurts the chickens? Will you then look at them and roll your eyes, or you'll have to we'll have to go, all right, I didn't, a lot of people that use, the R word, they weren't saying it in front of people that were developmentally disabled. They were just using it amongst themselves. And that's where people would be like, okay, it's Steve, Vicky, and myself. Nobody in this group is going to have their feelings hurt by that word. But now if you're around chickens and you say the word chicken and they go, scientifically, chickens get upset by this, are you going to roll your eyes? You're going to go, all right, well, I didn't know. Well, like with the R word, it's like, you're right.
Do you really want me to have a serious There's a difference between a chicken and a human being.
This is what I'm trying to tell you. Now you think that, but in 30 years, we don't know the sensibilities of humanity. That's the whole idea.
I can't wait until they do this and I just eat a chicken leg right in front of a chicken. It's like, take that.
I'm getting chicken McNuggets today. Okay, how about this one? Instead of calling somebody a rat, call them a snitch.
Yeah, see.
Instead of calling
then the
somebody
Harry Potter fans are going to get mad because the snitches in Harry Potter's Quidditch might have feelings.
Instead of calling someone a pig, you call them repulsive.
I just want to tell you. And again, it's just about how society changes. I had these conversations about other words 30 years ago, and people were just saying the same thing you guys were telling me I was crazy when I said, it's just insensitive.
When a snake tells me, hey, guys, I find it very insensitive when you refer to someone as a snake. Can you say that they're a jerk instead, please? I will change my ways.
So if science does come out with it,
not science. An actual snake has to tell me
oh, boy, here we
that
go.
They do not like me saying that word.
Oh, because
if a rat says, hey, Steve, down here, look down. It's me. Ratatouille.
Wow.
Can you stop saying that? Call them a snitch.
Well, you do believe, though, that your dog feels certain things and gets things and
but they don't understand words.
Well,
They understand tone.
They understand tone.
Well, when you say the dog's name, it knows who you are.
It's not like that. I mean, they understand the sounds. I guess I understand what you're saying. But, I mean, if I'm like, hey, Lulu, you dog. Or if I said to someone, no, you dirty dog, Lulu's not going to paw at me. Like, hey, can you use it like a different term? Like, can you just call him a pervert?
Oh, you say that now. There are people that believe dogs actually can understand a lot more. I mean, I think those people are crazy.
I'll try and be more sensitive to the animals in the terms
it's crazy.
That we use.
It's crazy by our standards. I just won't be surprised if in 30 years everybody says you can't say those words anymore for whatever reason. You and I will be like, wow, I can't believe it. You guys don't think that'll happen in 30 years? You don't think that'll come true?
No.
I totally do. I know human beings. There are words that you go, what? Okay. All righty.
Somebody says, how long until they come after Scaredy Cat? Oh, I bet they're already on it.
Oh, Scaredy Cat. Yeah. I mean, you use the word cat.
Mm-hmm.
It fits in. I think Pete is just trying to always stay in the news. It's ludicrous to me.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I will say this, though. I do not like it when people use the word pig or dog to just talk about another human being.
Well, yeah, in this situation,
stand.
I think they're talking about like someone being like a slob. We're not talking about like somebody like I think about their looks.
But it's not about the animal; it's about the human being. To me, that's dehumanizing speech. To me, it's like do not start comparing human beings to animals because then you could find reasons to be really mean and horrible to them. This is a whole different reason than you're going to hurt the animal.
Right? They don't care about the humans. Peter's worried about the animals' mental states,
which really bothers me because Peter, where were you when people were using those things on humans and really defending human beings? Because shouldn't you defend them too?
Like somebody on Twitter wrote, "Congratulations on the stupidest tweet."
What happened?
Another person says, "I can't tell if this is real or you guys are making fun of yourself." PETA, though, I guess they stand by their tweet.
Yeah, because that's what they do.
Somebody has a question for you, Vicky, but it's a question I can't even say on the air, so check the text line.
Wow! Okay, see that. What kind of question is this? Wow.
They're looking for advice on how to ask their wife to do something to them that...
You guys remember Ralphie from The Sopranos? So he's basically Ralphie. He's looking for advice.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say. If you don't know who Ralphie from The Sopranos is, he was quite a character. It was it Cypher, I think, from the same Joey Pants?
Oh, Joey Pants. Yeah. He was Cypher on The Matrix.
Yeah, Joey Pants played Ralphie, and one of the revelations about Ralphie was like, holy cow, as he was hanging with Tony's sister. And, well, they were engaged in fun activity, and we didn't know that was what Ralphie was into.
Well, Vicky, I just didn't want you to miss that text. You definitely need to help them out.
Yeah, Ralphie needs to know. Send me a message, because I don't even know if I want to reply on the text line so other people at work can see what I wrote.
Oh, you need to reply on this text line. You need to come on. People need a little fun in the workplace.
Yeah, I just don't want to leave that person hanging. I think that would be rude and disrespectful.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe that's what they plan on doing on a Thursday night.
Yeah. By the way, that's okay.
You may need to order something, so it might not come in until Saturday.
Shouldn't you go to Lovers? Would Lovers be able to help them out?
Yeah, that would work too.
Yeah, Lovers. That's another local business, right? Too.
I don't know if they'll give advice on like, they might sell you products, but I don't know if they have like people on like, it's not like someone that's willing to give you instructions.
Well, that would be. I think they should. I mean, if you sell stuff, you should be able to tell people how to use it. Or am I crazy?
It's not about not how to use it. It's just about how he needs advice to ask his wife to do it for him.
How do you bring up that conversation?
Did you not read the text?
Oh, I totally missed that.
Yeah, he wants to know what's a good way about asking his wife to perform a certain act for him.
I thought he was looking for a good product recommendation. I totally missed that.
If you ask those questions there, you might get
you can't ask them how.
This text is one sentence. How did you even get that in all that?
You know what, dude? What can I tell you?
Did you just stare at it and make up your own little story?
I saw. Well, I did. I'm uncomfortable in your zone, so I quickly scanned it and get out, and I was like, okay, I saw the right words and made my own story up.
Enter my zone, BJ.
I don't want to.
Nice.
I don't like reading over somebody's shoulder. It's not cool. Yeah. So there you go. Well, Vicky, I hope you can help him out. Sometimes there's therapy for a lot of things. Like, if you want something like that done, then you might want to, talk to some professionals, especially if you're really, really interested in having that done. Because there's nothing wrong with that activity if you're into it. But, it's surely not something you ever discussed with your wife before. So,
do you think they need to see a therapist first to have that, or can he just try and find the tactful way to ask, and the wife doesn't respond well? Then maybe that's a situation where he needs to have a conversation with someone. I don't know.
I'm a huge believer in making sure I'm not bringing stuff to the party. In other words, my own baggage.
Right.
And a lot of human beings don't realize that. They go, I can have this conversation with my significant other, not realizing, no, you're bringing a ton of baggage. It will not go the way you think it's going to go.
Well, when it comes to something like this, you definitely want to be open with your significant other.
I see what you did there.
It's not so much about baggage. It's, I think, having a sit down and being like, hey, is there any fantasies of yours that you've always wanted to try that maybe if we're both comfortable with it, we can both try it? Because I have a few that I would like to try, and I wanted to see what you think. And honestly,
that's a reasonable conversation. Yeah, if you can do it, and you think that they can be reasonable, nothing wrong with that.
And
my wife and I had that conversation last night about fantasies. She's like, "Well, what's yours?" And I'm like, "I would like to eat an entire Domino's pizza by myself." I've always fantasized about that. And
I believe in you.
With chicken wings,
and she wouldn't let me do it.
Your wife is so
I'm going to see a
close-minded.
therapist about this so I can eat my pizza.
You should.
Yeah,
I mean, your wife should understand this is part of you being you.
So I want to know, other than your phone, what is the one piece of technology that you could not live without?
Well, we know Vicky's answer.
I don't think is that technology?
Yes, it is.
it's got batteries.
Okay.
Oh, it is complete technology, dude.
Sometimes they're
I
Bluetooth
get it.
compatible.
I wasn't checking for a second. Sorry.
That is a device, Steve, created by wonderful human beings for Vicky's life.
I mean, I think it would have to be my television.
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
That or a speaker.
For me, the DVR. Or my TiVo. And a lot of people don't use TiVos anymore only because of the fact that I record so many ridiculous shows that are on at the same time that the regular DVR is not enough.
They're like, it's just too much for us, guy.
Yeah. So I still am a proud TiVo owner because I need to sometimes I need to record 6 to 8 channels at the same time.
For me lately, it's been my Apple Watch. I think
really?
Hell yeah,
I've been
dude.
so addicted to and I know, Rev is the same way. I've just gotten I got it for my birthday this past year, and I've just gotten so addicted to just having it and checking my fitness stuff and whatnot. It's great.
Yeah, you got to have the right eyes for that.
I'm actually doing
What do you mean
exercise.
the right eyes?
Yeah.
Oh, as you get older, it's so hard to see that little screen to
You
me.
can make it huge.
Yeah, but that pretty much at that point, the screen is so little. There's 4 letters on there. It's going to take me a week to read whatever it's supposed to say.
Yeah, they got a little turning dial thing too, so it'll help you.
Yeah,
is the only thing that shows up on the screen.
Exactly. So at that point, I'll just pull out my phone that has a bigger screen. But I can see, if you can see, those things are pretty awesome.
It helps me actually respond to text messages and stuff because it's haptic, so it'll just kind of vibrate on my arm.
Oh.
So I'll not miss phone calls. Oh, God damn it, Siri, shut up. Sorry, I put it up to my face and it started asking me what I wanted.
What do you want?
I don't want anything right now. I want to shut up.
You want to get some fine food.
Oh, I do want food.
Would we count like an iPad, as a phone? Because I can answer and text on my iPad.
That's a device. That's not a phone.
I know. Besides the obvious,
iPad's a good.
iPad would be mine.
The tablet is a great device. Thank you, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, because they had those things on that show, and I've been waiting my entire life to have what they had, and we finally got them with the tablets.
And someone said, BJ, don't feel bad or ashamed about being a TiVo owner. I work with a guy that still has Netflix sending him 3 physical DVD discs per month.
Nice.
That
so Netflix still sends DVDs?
Yeah, they still have that service.
I had no idea that they still did that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm that bad. I mean, I'm not that bad. I have an MSN email address. I guess I could be considered that bad. I'm still a Hotmail guy. Actually, I never was a Hotmail guy.
No,
I'm MSN. Yeah. But that's it was the same thing.
People, yeah.
But Hotmail was cooler, and I was still lame.
Every once in a while, I open up my Yahoo account just to see what's going on, and I'm like, oh, this is why I don't use my Yahoo account. It's just spam on top of spam on top of spam. I don't even want to try and find an actual email.
I can't believe Yahoo's still in business. They are, but they used to be the thing. And now, does anybody use Yahoo anymore?
Yahoo. My wife does.
Sarah still has her Yahoo email address. Yeah.
My Gmail just said, "Hey, you need to get rid of some." I'm a hoarder with my emails.
Oh, Gmails came at you?
Yeah, I did not think I would see that day, but they're like, "You have too many emails, so you got to pay us some money."
Oh, dude, I never thought that would ever be possible.
Yes.
Wow.
So I paid the money. It's like $20 a year to get a ridiculous amount of space. I'm like, that's a lot easier than me having to go through all my emails to clear out the big files.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Your kids will be saying,
"Please 5 more minutes. I can't believe I did that."
And,
"Look how high I can bounce."
Spring Free is the world's safest trampoline, the place where stories are made. The innovative design boasts no springs, so you know you're safe. Go ahead and create the greatest stories you'll tell your friends. We're back in stock. Get it while you can. To learn more about the world's safest trampoline, visit springfreetrampoline.com.
Mom, come watch us.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's listeners on the loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Ooh, somebody want to know, what is the history of Beat Migs / Beat the Producer, and when did it start?
Ooh, well, Steve, you be the expert on that one.
No idea. I just, one day, all of a sudden, people were asking me questions. No, it started back in the end days when I worked with Andy Savage. It was an off-the-air thing. I would always just randomly say something. He's like, you just have a wealth of stupid knowledge.
Yeah.
Just pointless trivia. And that's true because I grew up at a time where, if you didn't want to go to school, you stayed at home. And so I would just watch TV and, all my pop culture related just from me not going to school. And just my mom would let me just watch TV and just learn, who the dog is from the Brady Bunch. That's
nice.
Tiger.
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah. So, and he's like, okay, well, we're going to do a trivia game on the show. We got to think of a name. And so at that point, I still hadn't really had much of an on-air presence. He referred to me as Steve, the producer of the show.
Yeah.
He's like, how about we change your name? I'm like, all right. And he's like, I want to name you Meat. And I'm like, why? He's like, that way the game could be called Beat the Meat.
Okay. Good. That's all radio time, guys.
And I was like no, I don't want to be called Meat. That doesn't what? How do I explain that to my family? What? I'm on the radio. Here, check it out. Oh, the person they refer to as Meat. That's me.
Yeah.
So eventually, I was able to convince him to go with Beat the Producer, and then eventually it's gone on to become Beat Migs. But that's how it all started.
Yeah. Wow.
So it could have been at one point. I don't even know what life would have been like being known as Meat.
Yeah. You never think about it when you're a goofball radio host. You just don't think about how that affects somebody's life when you give them a horrible name.
Well, also you don't think about it as the person that would accept it. Like even just the whole studio producer thing at the time, like whatever. And then when it was like I was approaching 40, I'm like, I'm 40 and this is the silliest nickname. Like this, if I'm going to go with a nickname, I might as well go with a nickname that I've lived my whole life with.
Yeah.
Meat. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So, yeah. Veggies. Good old Steve Veggies.
What's up? I'm Meat. Could you imagine?
Well,
hey, Meat, how's it going?
We've known a couple of buddies, like our buddy Buckethead had to go through the same problem. He had to change his name because he was like, am I going to be Buckethead my whole life? And he finally did, and he's now part of Bailey and Southside in Atlanta.
Yeah, he went by his actual name, Jason Bailey.
Yeah, and I felt for him. It's like, dude, I get it. You get in the business, you got to do whatever they tell you. I go, look, I did the same thing. I gave people horrible names. So I'm as guilty as anybody.
Right.
Yeah. I think was Mike Calta called Cowhead back?
Yes.
Yeah. Same thing from Mike. Mike is a great host, and
I forgot that his actual, like his old school name was Cowhead.
Yeah, he's just like, he
still not as bad as Meat.
Yeah. I don't know. Cowhead's pretty bad, dude. Meat and Cowhead are right up there.
I can't remember where it was, but someone was named that their name was Turd Boy, and I thought that was like,
yeah.
How did you okay that one?
Yeah.
Wasn't that one of those Cobra Kai nicknames?
Might as well been, dude. That's right. Johnny Lawrence should have been doing morning radio. He was always coming up with the worst nicknames for people.
He knows how to do it. I mean, we have our buddy Omelet. I think he's still called Omelet.
Yeah, there's a guy named Omelet.
Yeah, he was our buddy Paul Casanova in Florida. He used to work with him, and I think Paul gave him the name Omelet.
Well, it's like the free beer and chicken wings guys.
At least they did that themselves.
Right.
Free beer, hot wings.
Hot wings, that's it.
Yeah, they did that themselves, but
they regretted it. Like when you talk to them, they're just like, now we're forever like, which one's free beer and which one's hot wings?
I still don't know who's who, and I get like, I don't want to call them by that name.
I don't think any of them are. I think it's just the name of the title, right?
No, I think one guy one guy identifies with free beer and the other one identifies with...
I just thought they named it that.
I think...
I always thought it was amazing, just because at that point, from a marketing standpoint, I've just been like, "Hey, have you guys checked out free beer and hot wings?" I was like, "Yes, I want to listen to that."
Well, because in college, I thought I was going to chuckle at that one because in college there was a band called Free Beer and Wings. And the reason why they were called that is that it would like attract people to come see them, thinking you were going to get free beer and wings.
Pretty good idea.
And then they would surprise you with, here's a Pearl Jam cover. There are no free beer and wings.
Oh, damn it. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. It's Listeners on the Loose.
If you were given the opportunity to bring any food franchise to your current town, and you'd also have to be the owner of the franchise, what franchise would it be?
Oh, to my current town?
Yeah.
Okay, it's got to be Mod Pizza.
Mod Pizza.
I mean, because I don't have one in Mercer Island.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, do I want to bring something that's not here and try and, like, take advantage of, all of a sudden now we have, like, my first thought was Nathan's Hot Dogs, of all places.
Oh, okay.
I don't really even care about their hot dogs, but their French fries are the crinkle cut ones, and they're amazing. Oh, you come with a fun little fork. I want to have those.
You're going to have to let me try those because crinkle cut has never been my favorite.
Yeah, I think you need to try Nathan's Hot Dog fries.
All right. I'm willing to do it because then I'll get a hot dog to go with it, which is, of course, fantastic.
The only time I've ever had Nathan's Hot Dogs was when I was super drunk going home on a flight from Vegas.
Yeah.
And it sounded
You mean every flight from Vegas you take?
That's also true. Yeah. But, it sounded delicious. For me, I would do Del Taco. And I know we have one in Fetty Way.
Puyallup, too.
I would bring them way more up here.
I am so tired of Puyallup.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly, every time you say, you know what I would like? I would like gold. Well, there's gold in Puyallup.
Well, there is. There's
World Peace.
There's a gold store.
Yeah. The World Peace. Oh, there's World Peace in Puyallup. I mean, Steve's like, everything's in Puyallup.
It's right next to the Menchie's, the World Peace store.
I'm tired of you and your Puyallup.
Also, but then part of me wants to just bring Dick's to Puyallup.
Yeah, but what about food?
Yeah. That's why I keep inviting you.
Oh! I see what you did.
That would be pretty sweet. Yeah. And I think it would do all right.
I feel like an ice cream place would be pretty sweet, but Dick's is good too.
Or Frugal's. That would be kind of cool.
Ooh. All right, then.
So you wouldn't have to travel all the way over to Fox's?
Yes.
Basically, you can't pick any place.
I can't.
You really can't.
I'm torn. There's so many
how
places.
I was? Immediately. Mod Pizza.
Yep. I know. Well, I have one of those in Puyallup.
Yeah. You know what we don't have in Mercer Island either? We tried for like a half a second. We don't have an Indian restaurant either, which really irritates me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how do we not have an Indian
You should bring
restaurant?
a Karma Indian there.
Then
you can enjoy Karma Indian.
I would probably open the place up and not care if we make any money just so that I can have Indian food.
Vicky, what's your pick?
I was going to say Dick's, but just because I feel like Marysville already has everything except Dick's, I I think it'd be kind of cool to get in and out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Like in the middle of, like, if you go to some parts of like Marysville, Arlington area, it's pretty wide open. So I feel like you can have a big enough parking lot to just have the rush of people that are going to come in.
Have you had In-N-Out before?
Once.
And so you've had Dick's, you've had In-N-Out, so you're an In-N-Out fan?
I like their fries. See, it just depends on the mood of what type of burger, because they're both really good. I feel like I have to give a slight edge to Dick's for burger taste and, texture, mouthfeel, if you will. But sometimes you want something more In-N-Out like.
Yeah, to me, it's like, you know what? I love In-N-Out shakes, but I'll take a deluxe any day over any In-N-Out burger. People think I'm insane, even people that work here. I'm sorry. I mean, I hate to tell you this, but Dick's, I think, is a better burger.
And if we're owning the franchise, I'm like, if you have an In-N-Out in Washington, we're making bank.
I was about to say also, like, property value will go up in Marysville because all the people want to move there based on how people go crazy about this damn In-N-Out.
Yeah, you aren't kidding.
Yeah. Like, I'm moving to Marysville. Why? Because they have an In-N-Out.
I can't wait, because then people won't be going to Dick's, and I'll have all the Dick's I want. What?
Yeah.
So it says, what about Fuddruckers?
Yeah.
It's a good place to eat. I've never been there.
I've seen the Fuddruckers, and if I've been there, it's been a long time. I have no memory of this.
You would love Fuddruckers. That's a big thing in New Mexico. They got voted best hamburger in New Mexico, even though they're not a New Mexico thing.
There's a chain.
Yeah, there's a chain. And they have queso fountains. They have, like, build your own burgers.
Excuse me?
You can, yeah. They do
All
like,
right.
their own, you can choose your own patty size.
Oh.
You can go up to, like, a full pound burger.
It looks good.
Guys.
Burger for lunch.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
we need to make this happen.
Do we have anyone near us?
Fuddruckers?
Yeah.
No,
I never even heard of this. I mean, I've heard of it, but like I've never heard of one being in Washington.
The only thing I've ever heard of it when it was on Idiocracy and they changed the name.
Yeah, they did.
And you can't say that one.
Someone said, Steve, you talk about wrestling. Did you know that Matthew McConaughey is a huge wrestling fan? How cool is that? All right, brother.
Yeah, he was on Jimmy Kimmel talking about that. And so Jimmy was like, oh, you're a big wrestling fan. Okay, who's your all-time favorite?
I've been a wrestling fan since I was 8.
Who's your all-time favorite? All-time favorite wrestler?
Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Coming out with the 2x4, baby.
See, now that's a wrestling name. Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
You know, it's every time Matthew McConaughey just is a good old boy. You know what I mean? You just every time he's he's down to earth, driving his Lincoln, having a great time, going to wrestling shows.
No, he says he wants to like do stuff with the WWE, whether or not it be wrestling or help write stuff. Like apparently he's obsessed with wrestling as well, which I think is pretty awesome. And
That's
he's
cool.
got his kids hooked into it too. But he's got like I guess he's in that like weird spot where he doesn't want to like ruin the magic that is wrestling for his kids. Like, hey, do I tell them it's fake or do I not? What's going on with this?
Oh, so I thought that's something that you start telling your kids right away since they've pretty much come out and said it.
Well, no, he says, he says, I love the suspension of disbelief because my kids are watching. They're starting to get to that point where they're like, oh, I think it's fake. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. No way.
Oh, so is this sort of like other traditions? I didn't realize that.
I don't
just
think
assumed
it is. I think he's just having
just
fun.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because I could see you wanting, if your kids are coming up, and why wouldn't they think it's real?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, when I was a kid, I thought it was. But then again, they were trying to make us think it was back then.
Well, even still, if I didn't know, it looks the same. Now, you know better than me, Steve, but I mean, it looks the same to me, except you do get to get behind the scenes, more interviews and stuff with guys than you did before. But they still try to make it look legit. I mean, as far as it always has been.
I mean, there's some instances where you're just like, okay, that's just completely ridiculous. We have to suspend. But it's like an action movie. That's what I've always, like, to me now, like, the appeal of wrestling is like I'm watching a really fun action movie scene. And that's how I interpret it in a sense. Like, it's like, okay, that's impressive what you're doing. No one. And also, it's like, how did you pull it off? It's like magic meets action movies.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. I have lots of tickets that I haven't paid. Can those be discharged through a bankruptcy?
Yes, there are some limits on what we can do with tickets. Tickets cannot be discharged in a full bankruptcy. In a Chapter 7 case, that won't help you get your license back. But in Chapter 13 reorganization, tickets are dischargeable. Most types of tickets are dischargeable. So you would have to pay back some of the tickets in a Chapter 13 case, but the vast majority of them could be discharged if you complete the plan. And again, you would get your license back right away when you filed the Chapter 13 case, as long as the only reason you don't have your license is because of failure to pay your tickets. But the Chapter 13 process will help you get your license back and repay a small portion of your tickets in most cases, and get your license reinstated almost immediately.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, 1 in every 5 children killed in traffic crashes in the U.S. was a pedestrian. That's why 3M is working alongside local governments and NGOs to help improve crosswalk visibility and traffic markings in school zones, in a worldwide initiative to provide kids with a safe walk to school and access to the education they deserve. To learn more and take action, visit 3m.com/schoolzonesafety.
3M Science. Applied to life.